what was I? Right. Hi, friends. Um, I was part of that epic Unreal Fellowship, and in it, I made improved sky that combines the 4.26, which isn't out yet, or maybe it just came out or is coming out soon. So 4.26 SunSky, which is available in 4.25 and 4.24, um, and the traditional BP sky sphere ish sky. So, yeah, when I say that, here, let me just boop. Have you guys seen this video exploring the depths of the new sky and atmosphere system in Unreal? This is what I'm talking
And that's
about.
really pretty much it.
So
By
it's
having done
like
that,
this
each
new
preview
system
had the new
with
volumetric
the
cloud stack when you
sun
get added to
sky,
4.26.
um,
And that will also be the very ending
where you can
notes
do
of this
like
presentation, a quick
atmospheres
recap of
around
all the recent changes and
planets,
upcoming
and you
features.
can see the transition
Before we
between
do get started,
space
I would like
and
to
like
give a bit of
your
credit and
planet,
highlight a
and then
few
going
contributors.
through the
So first of all,
atmosphere
a
because it
big thank you
actually
to the
has like
entire Unreal Engine
atmosphere
engineering team, in
effects that you can
particular
wrap
to
around
Astria Hilaire, who is
your
the
planets.
principal architect.
So
I'm going to position the
the
Twilight,
only problem
which
with
is
this is that
useful.
like
For example, you
the
could do
guy in
clouds
this
with this system. I
tutorial
have a very basic.
has a specific
One of the things, for
material
example, I have. Oh,
um,
I
that
just said
he
that.
doesn't go
Never mind.
into at
There's also
all,
a
and
way
he's like, well, some of these
in
things aren't
space
completely
and back, and have
like
here
updated yet.
that blends a
So
cube
like
map
this
of
material
stars
where he's like blending
into the
from
third
stars and
wheel.
everything
Pause
to
for
make
the
this awesome
blendables.
sky, he
This
doesn't
is this
share,
one
and
over
it's
here.
not
If I
available
enable that,
anywhere, and he
I don't
doesn't
even disable
explain it
disable the
either.
video.
So
Blend
I
from
was
side,
like,
you get
see,
stars
look how
blending
cool
in,
that is. You see
rotate
how
around
cool
with the
that
sun
is? And
to
I'm
make it
just like,
orbit
well,
on the
I
planet.
wanted
That's
that.
actually
And I
nicely
wanted that
blended
for my
with the
fellowship.
atmosphere.
And before the
If
fellowship,
you go
I
to
had
space, got stars here too.
if you
The way
looked
I've
at
done
this
this, and
channel
it is a bit of
earlier,
a
I was
weirder
trying to
workaround,
make
I
a
would say,
VR
but there's a
game.
plus is blendable here
And so
that
I had
blends the cube
basic
map of
Unreal
stars into
knowledge,
the
not like
furthest
too
away
much,
pixels. So you've seen
because I'm
there,
a
I only
Unity
take the furthest away
developer,
pixels.
not an
I
Unreal
do a couple of
developer.
additional
Though
checks. I
after
check
this
if the camera is in
fellowship,
space or not, then it behaves
I would
differently.
say
And I check
I'm
how
an
bright
Unreal
the sky
developer,
itself is if you're on
100%.
the surface of the planet.
So
And I
yeah,
fade
so
in the
what I
stars
did was
only.
I followed this guy's tutorial and realized that he didn't explain his material all that well. And then I looked at BP Skysphere, which is if you open up any Unreal project, I believe, and you go to like their main, this is what you get, their main level, their main scene. It has, a light source, sky sphere, skylight, and atmospheric fog. And the sky sphere is like located in uh how do you get to it? I believe it's in engine content. How do I forgot how to get there. Oh, this right click, click. Hmm. Oh, you know what? I don't have starter content downloaded. So if I do like add feature content and I say content packs, starter content, add this. Oh, I should have done that beforehand. I shouldn't have done that. Ah, fudge. Fudge. I shouldn't have done that. This is fine. Oh boy, this is gonna take a while, isn't it? Oh no. Okay, 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 okay. It didn't take that long. Um, Sweet. Cool. So can I get to engine content now? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Engine content? Uh, yeah. So I don't know how to get engine content in this actually. I should have looked that that up. Mm, if I go to BP Sky Sky, mm, how does see this is where I'm like, yeah, I'm an Unreal developer, and then I'm like shoots myself in the foot because I don't know how to even get the engine content available. Uh, internet. Let's look at the internet. Lol. I love how I'm like, yeah, I'm so advanced in Unreal now. No, I'm still not. Um, engine content? Unreal Engine, how to view engine content. Ah! Why is my internet so slow today of all days? Maybe it's because I'm also streaming everything. Mm, seriously? Seriously, Google? Yeah, yeah. Let's do this. I should have done this before. See? No, it's super fast. Google. WTF, mate. UE4.25. There we go. Okay, so show engine content. So we have to go to view options. Uh, I know how to do this. View options. I thought view options was in this bottom corner. Why? Why am I stuck so easily at... Oh, here it is. Okay, yeah. View options. And then show... What do they say? Show engine content. Ha! Got it. What's up? I didn't even need to download all the basic nonsense. All right, so if we go in here, BP Sky Sphere. That's the guy. That's the guy. Look at it. It's great. It's beautiful. Okay. So we have BP Sky Sphere, which I will open up. Here we go. Woo! BP Sky Sphere. So this is the construction script, and if you don't know, a construction script is a think of it as a script that runs when your engine is in editor. So like you don't have to hit play like the simulation in order for this blueprint to run. So what this is doing is saying, hey, get the material of the sky sphere mesh. And if we go into here, we'll see there's a sky sphere mesh and it's a material. And get it, set it. Then we're going to, if you click this refresh material button here in the details, woo, we want you to refresh that material. Cool. And BP Skysphere has like this horizon color, this zenith color, cloud color, and it has all of these things that you can change, but it doesn't work with the new SunSky system because the SunSky system has its own way of creating the zenith color, the horizon color, not the cloud cover color because there are no clouds in the new SunSky system. And that's the issue. It's like if you want SunSky and all of the cool stuff where you can do like latitude and longitude to and like position on the earth to determine like where your sun is, um that can't really, I mean, it can work with this sky sphere, but it doesn't work well. And so I was like, well, why don't I just rip apart this sky sphere and kind of mesh it together, mesh it together with what that guy made in his tutorial. And so that's what I did. So really what you want to look at is the material for sky sphere. So this mesh material. And so if we go to here, oh wait, this is just an instance. If we go to here, haha. Yeah. So this is, I think, a duplicate of what I initially made, or of what they have. I don't know if it's called 2. I think it's just called panning clouds. I might have renamed it 2 because I didn't want to delete it. Right. So this is what theirs does. It takes this is this took me a really long time to figure out. But essentially it's labeled correctly. So this area is all about the texture of the clouds. And you have this parameter here, which you can access from your sky sphere here. So where is it? Cloud speed? Yeah, so you have cloud speed, bam. Cloud opacity right here, bam. Um, and then we have the star brightness, which I believe is down here. Yeah. Star brightness is also something that you can change. And you can adjust all of these values, but they won't update automatically. You have to hit that refresh material because there is currently no way, no easy way to do like on every tick. So if you're familiar with blueprints, you'll know that there is a node in there, an event node that says, I want you to run this code on every tick. Well, in construction scripts, we don't have that because the game isn't running, so there is no on tick. So to get around that, we have this refresh material button, and that's what initializes all of this new uh, values for the material. I don't know if Epic is gonna start like making more progress towards doing like an event tick for, um, you know, not playing the game, but that's we'll see. We'll see. Right. So this is the sky colors, horizon distribution, sun radius brightness. Here's the sun brightness that we can change right here. Shablam. And so all of this comes together into the global parameters. It gets clamped, lerped, multiplied by an overall color, and then which you can change here, and then pumped into the emissive. So really, this is just an unlit. I believe it's an unlit material thing. If I click this, is it? Yeah, boom, unlit. Woo! Your girl's learning how to shade her stuff. Um, not well, but I'm trying. Okay, so that's what the sky sphere, again, traditional sky sphere, is doing. Um, right. So let's go into not start it. Here we go. Test level. Let's go into this. Uh, don't save. Bam. Okay. So this is what I made. Um, as you see, it kind of looks like what we had, except for, this black stuff at the bottom, which if I were to add, well, first let me go into my BP clouds. And as you see, I have my star brightness, cloud opacity, cloud speed. I even have a refresh material boolean, just like the other one. Um, and however, I don't have that, uh, I have a SunSky instead of, the uh, light source, atmosphere, and other stuff. Because if you look at the new SunSky, um, it has a directional light, uh, sky atmosphere, and skylight inside of it. So that's cool. Um, if you look at it, it has this latitude and longitude. So right there, there's the sun. So if I change the latitude and longitude, you can see that the sky is actively changing with this latitude and longitude. You can also change your month and date and time. You have solar time. So in your game, if you want to have real time that's hooked up to your um, like real life, just or you have an in-game month, date, time, you can affect, where the sun is at any given day, month, time of the year. Um, yeah, and just use this latitude and longitude to affect those positions. Okay, but without my BP clouds, this is what it would look like. So, no clouds in the sky. So I had this and I was like, well, this is great. This is everything that I want, but I want the clouds back. I want the stars. How do I get my stars back and everything? In my code, if the sun is below a certain point, so let's move the sun. Woo! Actually, yeah, let's make it even lower. Yeah. So if the sun is below a certain point, I want there to be stars. And again, the material won't update until you hit refresh. So let's make the star brightness 0.3 so y'all can actually see it. And then hit refresh. Bam. So there are the stars. And if the sun starts climbing back up, so they already lighten because, that's how light works. However, I think it's, oh, I can actually look. There's a degree, yeah, so sun star max height ratio and the cutoff point. So if the sun is, together those values just mean if the sun is at a certain height, I want the stars to lessen their brightness in the material. So if I go here and hit refresh, they got lighter. And if I go back to SunSky, and increase the sun's height a little bit more, you can still see them. Like you can still see the stars, right? This is a little bit, you might have to squint, but you can still see the stars. And now if I go back here, they're even lighter. And if I make the sun just a little bit higher and go back here, hit refresh, they're gone. So that's what that cutoff is. After a certain ratio, it's like they get lighter and lighter and lighter. And once the sun is high enough in the sky, like just turn the stars off because you wouldn't be able to see them naturally. So how did I do that? It's a lot of work. But let's go and see what my BP Clouds is doing. Doop, boop, doop. Right, so we have BP Sky Sphere. So this is the original, Zenith color, and then BP Clouds. This is mine. So this is my construction script. It's a bit longer than the BP Sky Sphere one. And what it's doing is, you can notice it's kind of similar, where it's getting this mesh, setting the material, but then it's also getting the SunSky reference. So what I'm doing is saying, hey, when you add this object into your level, I want you to go here, because this is usually, here, if I reset this, this is usually empty. So what I'm saying is, hey, find your SunSky in your level so that we can have a reference and get those values of the directional light, of the colors, of the atmosphere and sky sphere and whatnot. So as soon as that's connected, the directional light is also added. I was playing around with whether or not a user could see the directional light, but there were times when I was messing around inside of SunSky, and like the connection between this directional light and the SunSky broke, but the SunSky reference was still there. So I kept it there visually just as like a debug visualization. However, if you mess with this, it'll break. So let's go continue. Right, so now we have a reference to SunSky and it's directional light. So we're saying like, cool, get the directional light actor and set it. So we have these variables over here, which is like the reference to the SunSky and the directional light actor. We get its rotation. We break the rotator. The reason why I'm doing this is because in this sky sphere, it does the similar thing where it's taking the rotational value of the y coordinate and using that for the sun height. So if we look in the material, I believe, for panning the clouds, the star brightness, where is it? Here we go. Zenith color, blah, lerping, horizon fall off. There's something with like the sun's position and like adjusting the brightness of the stars. So sun radius, sun color, multiply all of that, add it to this, which is the zenith color, star brightness, multiply that by the sun's height. Here we are. So the sun's height, you're like, okay, what's a sun height? That was my first question. What is this parameter? Well, when I was looking through BP Skysphere, I realized that sun height was the y value of the directional light, of the directional light's rotation. Yeah. So if I were to go in here and look for sun height, I think is one word. Nope, not one word. Let's go back in here. Sun height. Search. There it is. Okay, so really cool thing that I learned is if you hit Control F and then type in, whatever you want, you can find it in your blueprint. So, setting the sun height. Double click. So this is happening in update sun direction. So when we call update sun direction, which I believe is inside of refresh material. Oh, geez. Yeah. Yeah, look at this. Look at this gnarly blueprint. All right, so what this is doing is when you hit that refresh material button, what they're saying is, okay, is there directional light? Yes, if there is, what we want to do, and when I say we, I mean Epic. What Epic is doing is saying, hey, get the rotation, it's getting the X vector, my bad. Set that as light direction with the sky material. Get the Y here, get the Y value of the rotation. So it's saying directional light, rotator, get that, get the Y value, map it. So this is just saying if it's from 0 to -90, change it to be 0 to 1, and that is your sun height. So they're rearranging the numbers and remapping this. So they're saying, okay, if the rotation is 0 to 90, so 90 is your 100%. So remap it from 0 to 1 is essentially what they're doing. So I was like, oh, okay. So they're just taking the Y value of the directional light to get their sun height, which they then pass into the material sun height. Bam, got it, done. So in mine, I do the same thing. So that's how I get my sun height. And this is, if we go in here, doing a similar thing, but it's also getting this ratio that I added because like I was saying earlier, I wanted to see what the height of the sun was, and based on the height of the sun, I want to change the star brightness. So I also needed to get that value and map it. So it's saying instead of 0 to -90, I want whatever this value is to override that -90. So in mine, it is -60. So that makes the ratio of everything higher. So instead of 0 to -90, I'm making it 0 to -60. And instead of mapping it from 0 to 1, I'm mapping it from 1 to 0 because in my code, it's a multiplier. So 1 means brighter, 0 means darker. So think of it as like the alpha multiplier. So what that means is, okay, if the sun height is higher in the sky, multiply it closer to 0. If the sun height is closer to 0, multiply the star brightness closer to 1. So make the stars as bright as they can be. And that's how I got that. The stars are decreasing in brightness as the sun is rising higher and higher into the air. And then I also have this value of, hey, if the ratio of the sun is over a certain number, just cut off the stars. Just eh. I don't want them anymore. Just make it 0. I don't care if their faintness technically would be like zero point 0.3 based on the sun's height. Make that mofo 0. And that's what this cutoff ratio is. And you don't have to have a cutoff ratio. The cutoff ratio could be 1, um, which would then map to this range. But I made mine 0.4. Cool. So based on whether or not you even have the cutoff ratio, um, like make it 0 or pick B, and then set the sun height value, and then let's continue on. So they're just setting the sun height parameter from the material instance that we got in our construction script. So, continuing. Ba 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 da da ba ba bum 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 bum. What else? What else? What else? Ooh, then we go into my refresh material, which is okay, update the cloud speed, update the cloud opacity, update the star brightness. Bam. Um, ¿Qué más? What else did I do? That's about half of it. Yeah, okay, so this is the construction script. We went over the sun height and how it affects the stars. Now let's go into my material. So I made a new material, or a new sky sphere. And then I also made my own, if we look at it, it's an unlit opaque surface, which is what theirs is. With their material is also a unlit opaque surface. So I used the same values for my material. And if you look at my material, oh boy, it looks slightly different than theirs, but is still pretty similar. So this is mine. This is, oh, theirs. Mine, theirs. Mine, theirs. Mine. Okay, so let's go into the newish. Yeah, let's go into the newish stuff because it also affects what I pulled from BP Skysphere. Yeah. So, right. So, sky atmosphere base expressions. Now, this is what I learned from the tutorial, which is this video. Where'd it go? This video, exploring the depths of sky and atmosphere. As you can see, he's using some of these values. And I just kind of wrote them down as he was explaining them live because, again, this isn't anywhere. This documentation is not really anywhere. They have a long ass page on Unreal's site for Skysphere, but there's no like practical tutorial other than this one. So, sky atmosphere. This is the sun-wide glow tint. So the glow tint of the rim of the sun. This is the ambient light of the atmosphere, which my clouds, I was like, my clouds shouldn't affect that. That's not something that really should affect my clouds, but maybe someone wants to do that. Um, I actually might use this somewhere else in my code, but we'll see. I can't remember right now. We have the angle of the directional light, so pretty much the sun's height, the not the calculated height, but that whole like get me the directional lights height, blah de blah. But this is not the height, it's just the direction. So I opted to use the old math rather than the new math because I couldn't really figure out how this value was calculated. This is just the sun. This is the color of the sun hitting the atmosphere, and this is the gradient of the atmosphere. So when I say gradient of the atmosphere, I mean like this zenith curve color, horizon color curve. Like, so zenith is the top. So gradient atmosphere, sunlight. So this is more of the like the zenith, and this is more of the horizon. So uh, add these two together. If we just added these two together and put it through emissive color, we would get the same thing as just having SunSky. So, bam, raw SunSky looks like this. If I were to, in my material, bypass the clouds and stuff, go back, where is it? Here it is. If I were to bypass this additive where it adds it to all of my mass and whatnot, if we were to do this instead, apply. Oh, don't crash. Do not crash. Save everything. See how there are no more clouds? And it looks exactly the same as just having the plain sun sky. So adding those two together and then shoving it into emissive is, yo, exact same thing. Nothing has changed. So when we want to change it, we have to add some maths. So first things first, cloud texture. I pretty much copy and pasted everything from the original. So I have my cloud speed, I have my cloud opacity, noise for it. I have the same textures as well. But here's where it gets, you can see where I was trying a bunch of different things. Nothing's connected, nothing's connected, nothing's connected. This is connected. This is just hanging out because I was, again, trying a lot of different things. If we compare my material to their material, here it is, power base multiplier. So yeah, I'm just double checking. Okay, so what I have here is the, oh no, I I don't know if Twitch is actually recording this. Hold on. Ah, that's what I forgot to do. Crap. I knew I was forgetting something. Let's see. Oh man, I haven't done a Twitch stream in so long. You know what? Maybe it saved my settings before the major update where it deleted all my other videos. Maybe it's done that. How do I look up channel and video settings? Um, Cool, 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 cool. Tight, 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 tight. This gives me nothing. Nothing. Auto host channels. Host, 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 host. Auto brand schedule. How do I do this? Stream manager. I know there's a like a button. Hold on. Sorry. Um, Twitch save streams. Save past broadcasts. How to save past broadcasts on Twitch. I'm so tired.
Well, hey everyone.
Let's
It's
watch
Sam here.
at 2
Welcome to the new
speed.
video, and it's gonna be a series. This is the Twitch stream
Phew!
setup, but just a little bit more. And just to give you a little
I
bit of
don't
context,
have corona, I
when we're on Twitch,
swear.
when normally when we're streaming, the stream has two
I
dashboards.
might.
Depending on
No,
who
I
you're
don't.
on, like you can see that their videos is on video
Well,
one,
no,
two,
I
three,
don't.
and
I think
I'm
I've
not too
been
sure if this is
inside for
Prime
2
users
weeks.
or our partner. I think it's more than that. So basically, go to dashboard. Now when you're on dashboard, you should see this. You should see
All
the
right,
days of operation
so
basically.
he's
And
in.
here's
Whoa,
the left
his
side of the
dashboard
dashboard.
looks
Goes
so
down
much
and it goes to the tabs.
different
So
than
you're
mine.
gonna want to hit channel. Once you're here, you're gonna see all these different settings.
Mm.
Don't worry,
So you go to channel,
don't confuse you.
you go
Just
all the way
get to
down
the point. So you're gonna want to
to
store past broadcast.
stream
So
past
and then you get all these little
broadcast.
preferences.
Check in stream and key preferences. Mm, I don't see that. Home? Home. Settings? Ooh, channel. I was just here. Moderation? Stream. Ah, okay. Stream past broadcast. Is there a way to search? Why is there no way to search? Oh man. Oh man. Moderation, channel, stream manager, insights, community, content. None of this. When did he do this? 2020. Maybe if I change my search to 2020. How to save streams on Twitch 2020. You can't. That would be funny. For 14 days, if you're a regular member, go to your dashboard, go to channel settings, click on preferences, then channel, click on your icon, go to settings. Now check. Oh my God. You will find the slider to enable archiving videos below the stream key and preferences. Why is this so difficult? Stream key. Store browse. Okay. So I am. Whew. I almost cried. Because I was like, crap, I'll have to fucking redo all of this. Okay. Sorry. Back here. Right. If you look at the original stuff, it has a lerp and a power and a multiply before it gets shoved all the way over here where it gets clamped, lerped, and then multiplied by an overall color. And then what we have, hey, and then what we have is a multiply, lerp. So I try to do the same thing where I have a multiply, lerp, power base, and then I was like, okay, well, what do I do with this? Let's shove it in this multiply, and instead of having a color, I want to put it through the sky atmosphere view luminescence, which again, if we look over here, is the gradient of the atmosphere. So if we look back here, they have an overall color, and they also have this cloud color. And I was like, okay, well, instead of shoving it through overall color or cloud color, what I'm going to do is just use the gradient. So that's what this is. Put all of this into a lerp because that is also what they do. Where is it? Lerp. Right here. So this is their B, but their A, if you look, is a combination between sky colors, sun vector, and, horizon distribution. So what that told me is that the star portion and the sun portion is this A part of the lerp. So in mine, the A part of the lerp is my star colors and the horizon distribution. So I copy and pasted this, and then again, instead of the zenith color, I'm putting in the sky atmosphere distant light scattered luminance. Now we go back here. What is that? This is the ambient atmosphere light tint. So not just the this is like the atmosphere in the very high sky, in the sky. That's the light. And that's the tint of the light. So I was like, okay, that's probably something to instead of the zenith color, let's use that color. Awesome. So we're adding those together, and then we're going to lerp it through this, which is the atmosphere view luminescence, which is the gradient. So we're taking the zenith and we're taking the gradient. Yeah. Gradient. Yeah. Gradient and this one, tint. So we're taking the gradient, we're taking the tint, and we're putting it together, multiplying it, lerping it, then shoving that into A, lerping between those, and then adding it into this guy, which combines everything, and then we put it into the emissive. So what do I do? Dun, 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 dun. Here. Yeah. So here we have my star brightness, which is multiplied, the sun height, which is the parameter that I created here. That's not mine. This is mine. So this is the sun height where I'm setting it, and then boop. Wait, no. Yeah, set scalar. So this is where I'm setting that sun height value, because that also gets multiplied into the brightness of the stars. And then we're like, cool, lerp it, add it, bam. That's your sky. So there's a lot of like adding nodes, randomly connecting stuff, trying to see what works, trying to see what doesn't, looking at their original script and being like, why is this A not connected to anything? Well, I'll never get an answer, but I'll copy their stuff and do the exact same thing. And it turned out pretty well. Oh, right. The other thing that I forgot to show you is like, the cloud part. So, let me go and make sure that this is all applied. Cool. It's applied now, and save. All right, so we got the clouds back. You can't really see them because they're weak. But let's make it 50. And okay, that's too much. Let's make it 10. Yeah, there we go. So much more overcast sky. And again, we can change this texture in our material if we wanted. Like if I wanted, we could change that. Dun, 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 where is it? In the material. Here. This is how the clouds are being generated. We can change this. We can change this to whatever we want. I also was playing around with figuring out a way to make HDRs integrated so we can have like really cool high def clouds and like sky spheres that they have on like really, really, really nice websites that are for free that I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, so this is the textures. You're like, well, Kat, this is still kind of static. Well, that's because the cloud speed is nothing. So let's make it 0.7, and then we hit refresh. Can you see? No, you can't. Let's make it 50. Refresh. There we go. So if you look in the sky, you can see that they're moving. It's a tornado! It's coming! Ah! And they're just kind of going in a circle. This is the, I guess, apex of the material. So you can kind of see some stretching right at the very top. But again, that's why I was considering having a trying to integrate a HDR. So if you also look really closely too, you have one layer of closer clouds and a far layer of like far off clouds, which is how you get that kind of overlapping cloud, like low low cloud, high cloud, low clouds, high clouds. And when I say low, I mean closer to the ground, high as in higher in the atmosphere. Yeah. So that's my stuff. And if you also notice, it gets affected by the colors of the sky sphere now, or sorry, the sun sky, because we're adjusting all of those values on our directional light and our skylight. So or is it sky atmosphere? Yeah. So theoretically, we should be able to change these colors, and it'll change the cloud kind of overall colors as well. Yeah. Bam. Shablow. Kapow. If we also go in here, boop, go up to the top. Dun, 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 dun. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to look in here. Yeah. So we can still have that same thing. We see the sun over there. Now if I move the sun, here we go. Let me just increase the, what is it called? Source angle. Bam. So now you can see it a bit more clearly. Maybe you can't. But there is the source of the sun. It is a big sphere in the sky. And we're going to, let's move him around. Let's move him to, horizon color and see what happens. So again, we got this change in color, and it's affecting everything just like we want. If we change if we change the sky atmosphere back to like blue or something. Yeah, there we go. That's more like natural, quote unquote. And again, you're like, well, where are your stars, cat? We gotta hit refresh. Bam, stars, clouds, stars into sky, sunset. And again, this blackness here, all this, the way to get rid of it is to add a volume. Se llama environ. ¿Cómo se dice? What's the name of it? Oh man, it's a. It's a exponential height fog. That's what it is. Bam, exponential height fog. Look, you don't have that the blackness anymore. So that's your height fog. Let's make it the fall off kind of high so that it's not into the sky, it's down towards the ground. So if the fall off is higher, that means that the fog is closer to the ground. So yeah, that's how you change your the black part to be not black. And yeah, that's the sun sky. Another thing that I noticed though about sun sky is that in your directional light, if you keep it as movable, it won't update everything super live. What's up? I'm streaming. What's up? Yeah, but you're not on camera because I'm a potato. Yeah, I'm just about finished. Yeah. Okay, so with the stars, so with that refresh button, a way that you can do it is having it like, I don't know, if you're in virtual production, if you want to have like triggers. So it's like, okay, I want to change the when the person dies or something or gets angry, like anime shonen character, and you want the as soon as they're powering up to have the clouds start, swirling like this. You can have a trigger in your sequencer that says, "Hey, increase the BP clouds uh, uh, cloud speed to 50 and then hit refresh." And so then it'll instantly, when they start like powering up, it'll be like, cool. All of a sudden it went from, 0 to zero point 0.7 to 10 to 30 to 50, depending on your event track in your sequencer. And in your video game, you can do this much easier because you'll have that on event tick. So again, when you're playing a game, you have your on event tick that you can um, use to update this sky material much more easily. And you can see these close clouds and far clouds much easier now that the sun is not blaringly in the sky. Um, yeah, so like that's how I combined it. Combined it? Yeah, that's how I combined did. That's how I mushed together the BP clouds, or sorry, the BP sky sphere with SunSky. And yeah, that's it. That's all you got to do. Um, I'll try and put this code online somewhere so that other people can use it. But also, this is only like a stopgap until 4.26 because as soon as 4.26 comes out, apparently like that's when they'll start releasing all of like the materials and stuff that they were using. So, like that I showed you in this video. So as soon as 4.26 comes out, like more of this stuff that he's doing here with like there's a planet and a sun and a moon and another planet, like there'll be more documentation on that. See here, real-time sky capture 4.26, 4.26. So as soon as 4.26 comes out, this might be obsolete, but it might not be. So I figured I would give this to the world and then make it easier for people to have dynamic clouds in their sun sky. Yay! Okay. If you have questions, I don't know, hit me up on Twitter or something, and I'll see what I can answer or explain in subsequent videos. But this is what I used in all of my levels for the short that I made from the fellowship when I was a potato. So yeah, hopefully this saved, and I'll also put it on YouTube to make sure that I can reference it in the future. But yeah, signing off, all that jazz. Unreal is fun, which I never thought I would say as a Unity developer, but it is. And yeah, good luck on your projects. Bye.